to be around Stuart, you had to be full of life. Stuart was about being the best, and there's a lot of times when we talk about this business and we talk about pioneers, people out there have got to understand that Stuart was incredibly unique. Obviously, the John Saunders of the world are also pioneers, but Stuart was unique in terms of his delivery, the swag that everybody alludes to. And oftentimes, it's never to denigrate or put down, it's just to highlight a difference where you talk about other folks may come to work with a job to do, but black folks come to work with a responsibility because you have people emanating from our community talking to us about, all right, touch on this, say this, don't let us down, make sure you do X, Y, and Z. And everybody didn't necessarily immediately gravitate to Stuart's delivery, his presentation, etc. But Stuart stayed true to himself because Stuart's message has always been to the bitter end. It was always be the very best of yourself that you can be. Don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to lie to the viewers or anybody else.
Right.
Be who you are. Be as real as you can possibly be. Work your tail off. Push forward and constantly strive for excellence. And that was what he was, not just as a professional, but as a father, as a man, as a brother. And it's just devastating. Jay Adonde wrote an outstanding column on ESPN.com about him. He put it better. Mike Wilbon obviously paid tribute to him. Our President Barack Obama did so as well. Tiger Woods did. Michael Jordan did. LeBron,
everybody.
Kobe, D. Wade, Chris Paul. To know Stuart Scott just a little bit, even, is to love the man, and he will be sorely missed. It's a devastating blow for us all.
I want to say something, because I didn't know him on the level in which you guys knew him. You worked with him for a while, but I have been here probably 2.5 years. And one of the first people to greet me was Stuart Scott. He sent me an email. And he was like, I'm happy to have you on the team. Welcome to ESPN. How can I help you? Stuart Scott sent that to little old me. And I literally thought, wow, that's amazing. What a wonderful man. He doesn't even know me. And here he is, the person that we all admire, reaching out to me, saying that he would want to help. Every now and again, I would see him and his girlfriend, and we'd talk at different events, and he was just always so generous and always so complimentary. Huge fan of Skip's, huge fan of yours, always had great things to say, tweeting us, like you said. And then every so often, he would just send me these messages. And I didn't have that type of relationship where we would talk all the time. But Skip and Stephen A., we know the challenges that come with this business. The challenges for me, being an African-American woman on this show, breaking through in so many different ways was difficult. And it still has its challenges. And he would send me a message out of nowhere: stay classy, stay above it all, keep your head up, be encouraged, you're doing great. They would come out of nowhere. It was just a random text, but they were always right on time. It was almost as if he knew what I was going through, just from the outside looking in. I don't even know if he knew, but he had a way, a very unique way of sending words of encouragement to so many of us. So I thought that this was a unique thing, and I thought, wow, he's really just being kind. But I sat with some of our colleagues, and we shared the same story, and it was that story.
That's who he is.
Stuart was so generous. He gave up until the very last minute. He had no energy, he had no time, but he always had time to say, stay encouraged, do well, not just for me, but for everyone here. And to have someone like Stuart Scott say that, to take us all under his wing, so to speak. He was a mentor for us, and he let us know that, yes, you can do it, but be true to who you are. As you said, be yourself. Stephen A. Smith this weekend sends me a message on Saturday, sending me some words of encouragement, just because, similar to what Stuart Scott did, and you don't know that means so much, because it's always right on time. So for me, when I heard the news, it hurt, because he had been on my heart for a very long time. We knew it was coming, but it still hurts. But like he said, we have to fight for him. The fight isn't over.
He knew about your struggle because his was no cakewalk to the top of SportsCenter. A lot of people, as you alluded to earlier, did not love his style to begin with, back in 94, 5, 6 in there. And yet, I'm here to attest that that guy I got to know in 93, we do see occasional people on television who are not real. That was the real guy who took his realness onto SportsCenter. That wasn't fake, that wasn't phony, that wasn't contrived. You know and I know that was the real Stu. In fact, that was only a little bit of the real Stu. He might have dialed it back a little bit because that guy, he was a ball of fire off the field too.
Our colleague, Stuart Scott, no longer with us, an incredible man, an amazing father. Stu, we love you. You will be missed.